We have Parvez Memon, Senior Partner, MSM Legal, joining us. Mr. Memon, thank you for joining us on Mirror Now here. Supreme Court will hear Rahul Gandhi's plea seeking a stay on his conviction. In fact, he said if judgment is not stayed, it will lead to throttling of free speech. In fact, the High Court judge in the judgment maintained it was not an individual-centric defamation case, but something which affected a larger section of the society. Now, a 2-year jail term for defamation is, of course, unprecedented, and no relief is also surprising. So, how do you see this playing out in the apex court now?
See, Radhika, as you have rightly said, that 2-year sentence in a defamation case is unprecedented, as well as not staying the conviction by the higher court is also something unheard of. So in my considered view, being a lawyer, I would not take any political inclination towards either Congress or BJP. What I want to communicate through you all is that the courts have to be impartial, because in the eyes of law, be it a millionaire or a mason, everybody is equal. Equality should prevail, and not the status of the accused, whether he's a president of an X party or a Y party or a ruling party or opposition party. All of these things should not weigh the mind of the judge when he is examining the case within the parameters of law. So law should prevail, justice should prevail, and we expect Supreme Court would do justice in this case, given the facts and evidence in the case. I am not defending here, Rahul. I don't know what the evidence in the case is, but free speech should be upheld. Political statements of such nature should not be disregarded to the extent of convicting a person for highest punishment prescribed in law under 499. Given the other defenses that are available for Rahul in the case under 499, whether it falls under any exceptions provided under the offense, that is for his lawyers to argue. But we have seen in the past that the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, has come heavily on high courts, specifically yesterday when we heard of T-Star's judgment by the Supreme Court, where again the same high court was, critically some strictures were passed.
Right. Also, Mr. Memon, in the plea, Rahul Gandhi has said that this will set a disastrous precedent, wiping out any form of political dialogue or debate which is remotely critical in any manner. Do you think, will court touch upon aspects of free speech, as you just mentioned? Because Congress has been saying that this is just a frivolous case, this is politically motivated and so on. Besides, will court look at his disqualification as an MP and how that is consequential to his political career? Do you expect, court pulling up the lower courts, the apex court pulling up the lower courts as far as the judgment is concerned? Is it something that you see happening?
Yes, Radhika, it is not a case where the court has to pull up the lower courts or pass strictures on courts necessarily. The court has to examine the merits of the matter, the merits of the appeal. And in any given circumstances under the criminal law, appeal is an extension of trial. So when the appeal is being heard or admitted, the court has to examine only the evidence, not what transpired before the court or what were the extrajudicial circumstances which resulted into such kind of conviction. Nevertheless, freedom of expression as defined in our Constitution has to be upheld under any given circumstances. And given the fact that Rahul Gandhi is before the apex court, which is the highest custodian of constitutional rights, I believe that justice would prevail.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Memon, for joining us with your thoughts on that. We'll wait and watch out for how this will play out in the apex court. Of course, you're saying law should take its course. Free speech should be upheld, and court, of course, will look at the evidence that will be presented before them.
Yes, Radhika.
With that,